What if I told you that one brutal ambush backstage just changed the power structure of WWE forever? What if the most dominant force in NXT didn't just want a match? What if he wanted destruction? Ladies and gentlemen, what unfolded behind closed doors wasn't just chaos, it was a statement, a warning, a declaration of war. Because tonight, Obafemi didn't just attack Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker backstage, he hunted them. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this ambush could be the most dangerous move WWE has seen all year. Welcome back to WWE Insider Scoop. If you love breaking news, backstage drama, and exclusive WWE analysis, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because we don't just report the story, we break it wide open. The WWE locker room has been tense for weeks. Bron Breakker, raw power, intensity, second-generation dominance. Bronson Reed, the human wrecking ball, a man who turns rings into craters. And then there's Obafemi, the NXT juggernaut, the monster with unmatched size, speed, and presence, a man who doesn't talk unless it means something. All three men have one thing in common. They don't back down. Rumors had been circulating backstage, quiet conversations, hushed warnings, whispers that something was brewing. Talent noticed Obafemi watching from the shadows, officials sensed tension, security was on edge, and yet no one was prepared for what happened next. It started near the production area. Bronson Reed had just finished his segment, sweat still pouring, chest rising and falling. Bron Breakker joined him moments later, pacing like a caged animal, fired up and focused. That's when the lights flickered. And then, boom. A steel equipment case slammed into Bronson Reed's knee, dropping the big man instantly. Before Bron Breakker could react, Obafemi emerged. No music, no warning, just violence. A massive forearm crushed Breakker against the concrete wall. The sound echoed through the hallway. Security rushed in, but it was too late. Obafemi grabbed Bron Breakker by the throat and launched him into a production crate like he weighed nothing. Bronson Reed tried to fight back, throwing heavy shots using his size, but Obafemi absorbed them like nothing. Then came the moment everyone backstage is still talking about. Obafemi lifted Reed. Not slammed, not dropped. He powerbombed Bronson Reed onto stacked equipment cases. Cameras shook. Crew members scattered, officials screamed for help, and Bron Breakker, he charged. Big mistake. Breakker exploded with speed, tackling Obafemi into the wall. For a moment, it looked even, but then Obafemi smiled. That's when the tone changed. He caught Breakker mid-spear attempt and spine-busted him onto concrete. No ring padding, no mercy. Obafemi leaned down and reportedly said just 3 words. "This is mine." Then he walked away, leaving 2 of WWE's most dangerous men laid out backstage. Sources backstage described the scene as unreal. Medical staff rushed in, security sealed off the area, talent watched in silence. One veteran reportedly said, "That wasn't an attack, that was a takeover." WWE officials were furious, but also concerned, because when Obafemi struck, it wasn't reckless, it was calculated. So why ambush both Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker? Here's the truth WWE doesn't want you to ignore. Because Obafemi doesn't see rivals, he sees obstacles. Bronson Reed represents unstoppable mass, Bron Breakker represents explosive legacy, and Obafemi, he represents the future. This ambush wasn't about revenge. It wasn't personal. It was strategic. He took out 2 dominant forces in one night to send a message. There's only room for one monster. This changes everything. 3 threat possibilities, brand warfare, a collision of titans waiting to explode. WWE now has 3 unstoppable forces on a collision course and no clear way to control the fallout. Will Bron Breakker seek revenge? Will Bronson Reed retaliate with chaos? Or will Obafemi strike again before either man recovers? One thing is clear. WWE just entered a new era of brutality. Obafemi didn't just ambush two superstars, he shook the foundation of WWE. And if this was only the beginning, then the locker room should be terrified of what comes next. Because monsters don't ask for opportunities, they take them. This has been WWE Insider Scoop, your home for the real stories behind the chaos. Comment below who should face Obafemi next. Like the video if you felt that impact. Subscribe for more exclusive WWE breakdowns, because when the next ambush happens, you'll hear it here first.